I love Naples. I love Collier County. And over the course of my many years here, I've had the incredible experience to understand what makes us the best place in America to live. And let me tell you, it's not just our beaches. Far from it, actually. It's our people, and it's our partnerships. And none of it's happened by accident. I've seen it time and time again. The more people learn about what's happening in our community, the more they come to the realization, this is not happening where I come from. Collier is special. Collier is unique. That's why I'm bringing you Community Matters. Think of this as your Collier County 101. I'm your guide, introducing you to the people and the resources that I think that you should know through short, real conversations so that you feel more empowered and ready to engage in ways that will positively impact your life, your family, your careers, and this beautiful place that we get to call home. Because community matters. I'm Amanda Pearson, and welcome to Community Matters. Today, I'm honored to introduce the one and only Mayor of Everglades City, Mayor Howie Grimm. Welcome.
Hi. Hey, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for being here. I am so excited for this discussion because there's so much that I'm confident people are not aware of when it comes to Everglades City. So much, and we could probably talk for hours, but we're going to do this in about 20 minutes, but I want people to get to know you a little bit better. So, your full name is actually Howell Grimm.
Yeah, Howell Grimm.
But you, Howell Grimm Jr.
And I'm a junior, yeah.
That's right, but you go by Howie.
Yeah.
You're fourth generation Florida native.
Yeah, at least that much.
That's pretty
cool.
Mom
and Dad were both born in Punta Gorda. Dad was born in Punta Gorda in 1918.
Wow.
I was a late in life baby, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
So,
I like that.
A lot of changes.
You could say that again. You were born in 1978, moved to Everglades
59.
City. Wait a minute, really?
I moved to Everglades City in 78.
Okay, yeah. In 1978, you moved to Everglades
Yeah.
City, where you opened the Everglades Fish Corporation in 79.
Right.
And then you're currently the proprietor of your family's business, Grimm Stone Crab, Inc., which
Yes,
was
ma'am.
established in 2003.
Yeah, 2003, I think it's what it was, yeah.
That's Stone Crab. Love that. I've had that at your place, and it's fantastic. You've been an active member of the Everglades City government since 1995, serving on various committees.
Right.
And in 2013, you were elected to be an Everglades City council member, then elected as mayor in 2017. So that means you've been serving for now almost 9 years.
Yeah, it's been a while, for sure.
Time is flying.
No doubt. Yeah, and it seems like just yesterday, because it was right before Irma, as you know.
Yes.
Like 5 days before Irma, I was appointed and then elected shortly thereafter.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's a pretty wild time to become elected, 5 days before Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, like tried by fire.
Yeah.
Literally.
Kind of goes along with Everglades
or tried by
overall.
hurricane, I guess is the way I say it.
So I kind of wanted to start off with a little bit of the demographics of Everglades City. So first, whilst we might think some things are obvious, I don't know if it's obvious to everybody that Collier County has 3 municipalities that are a part of it that include the city of Naples, Marco Island, city of Marco Island, and Everglades City.
Right.
And so whereas our county has commissioners, these municipalities have city council and a mayor.
Right.
And if it's also not obvious, I've learned that some people have asked, well, why can't I vote for the mayor? It's like, well, you have to be a resident of one of those municipalities to vote on those things. But in general, I've just been so fascinated by things like, well, the population size of Everglades City, things like, I believe you guys have one of the only K-12 schools in the state.
Right.
Which is, so could you just take a moment to share a little bit about what is Everglades City? What are we talking about demographics-wise?
Absolutely. We have less than 400 people. It kind of goes up and down with the census that live in Everglades City. We have surrounding areas. We probably have 1,000 to 1,200 people, but you know they don't vote in the city. They have outside the city. They are still in the county, and so we as a city we have our own water, sewer plants and all that. So that's a lot for less than 400 people to handle inside the city. And we have a lot of visitors a year. They don't think the bed tax doesn't show up for Everglades City, but we bring, right now we're about 750,000 people a year that come to visit Everglades City. We're a destination more than anything else. Now, the National Park Service is finishing their building. When it gets completed and they open, Pedro, the superintendent, said he expected to draw 1 to 1.5 million visitors the first year to the Park Service. So that'll put us somewhere around, 1.5 million, 2 million visitors a year. And then the responsibility for all the facilities fall on those less than 400 people. So
that's an interesting fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Something that I know that you are working through on a daily basis to keep up with.
Yeah, and we get a lot of help from the state and from the federal government. We have a huge friend in Kathleen Pasadomo, the senator, and Lauren Mello, our representative, and Mario Diaz-Balart, the congressman. They all of them have been fantastic for the city.
Well, good. Thanks for sharing that. I actually didn't realize that it was under 400 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most people don't realize that either. And like with the school, I think that the population has really went down since Irma. It really changed. So we need people to start moving back. We're planning on taking sewer to Plantation Island. That will help growth. Somebody will start building and stuff. So
it's such a charming. We'll get to so much more. So let's actually start with the history. So the history of Everglades City is extensive. It's colorful and maybe surprising for some.
Yeah.
So would you mind taking a few minutes to share your version?
Yeah, I better not go too deep. No, I'm just kidding. No, Everglades City started, the Calusas were there with Chuck Lusky and all that, and then people came in, and Collier actually came in and kind of took over, and he told Lee County that, I think if he would put 41 in, I don't know the exact story, but he made this Collier County, and we were the first city in Collier County, and we were the county seat from 1923 until I think 1960 or 1959, somewhere in that area. We were the county seat, and then everyone else grew around us, and we kind of stayed the same.
Got it. What about some of its colorful facts of Everglades City?
We went Prohibition. There's a lot of a whole lot of rum and stuff, and a lot of us got caught up in the whole thing with the pot.
It's just a part of history.
Yeah, it is. And look, and you don't have to be proud of what happened to yourself or your family, but you learn from it.
Yeah.
And I definitely did. You couldn't put me back in jail, I can tell you that right now. But what a story of second chances in Everglades City. I mean, I went to prison for 3 years, was sentenced to 4, went in for 3, come out, got my rights back in 95, I think it was, and then worked through all that.
Yeah.
And then become mayor of the town,
Exactly. And it's not just you that we're talking about.
No.
So just for some context, can you share maybe what was that size of people when?
It was like 85% of the population, the male population especially. They went to prison, just kind of got caught up. We had lost a lot of things, like the net ban went through, the Park Service closed, we couldn't fish anymore. So we did what the generations before did, we adapted.
Right. And what year was that?
The net ban? Or when
85% of the population was arrested.
There was some before me. I was convicted in '89.
Okay.
So it was in the '80s, mostly in the '80s, late '70s a little bit.
It's a fascinating story that I've heard a little bit more about. You can read about, and it's just when you go to Everglades City now to see what it is now.
Yeah, and we've overcome it, and we try to get past it. And I don't talk about it a whole lot because it's not something I glory in. It is something that made me into who I am today.
I think that's important, right?
And it is. And it's good for people that have to go to prison for different reasons to realize that there's an outside world that will accept you if you do what you're supposed to do.
I just think it's interesting that within this lifetime of today, so many of the residents experience that together and are out on the other side. Yeah.
A lot of families tore apart, and all that. It was not a glamorous story like a lot of them want to show it as.
No.
We were just trying to make a living, and not that it's right. We broke the law, so we had to pay the price.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So when did you decide, population of 400, colorful history for the city in general during that time period, and at some point you realized that you need to get engaged.
Absolutely.
And get engaged at a higher level as a community servant. And so why and how did that happen?
Because we want to kind of protect what we have. You call it heritage, whatever that you want to call it. But, our height restriction, Zach and I have talked about putting it into the charter so that what's happening to Naples doesn't happen there. Some big money comes in and kind of changes things, and then they start putting high rises and stuff, So we want to keep we can do 2 stories above flood. That's real important. But it was mainly just about trying to keep that small town, the fishing village. There's very few. And they're disappearing.
I know.
We came from up around Pine Island and stuff, and there was a lot of that there, and it's almost gone. It's really sad to see development take completely over. And I get it because the property's worth money, but same thing's happening with the farmers as well.
I feel like when I go to Everglades City, it's like stepping back in time in a great way.
That's what we like.
Right.
That's what we like because we want the streets to be safe. You know, you can walk around, you can bike around. We've made it real bike friendly, and you know where you can walk as well. We had paths all over the place, and we're a trail town, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, and the kayaking and canoeing and stuff. If you like that, I mean, I want something with a motor on it because I don't do much on paddling.
What are some of the, if someone was going to go to Everglades City, what are some of the, you know, I'm thinking Smallwood or things like that. What would you recommend they come and do if they were?
Smallwood store is fantastic, but you know we also have a lot of airboat tours, which you get a different ride. You get a thrill ride, but there also will teach you some stuff on the thing. And National Park Boat Tours is running now, and it'll be at the park station. And the people that have the concession now have hired local people. Like the one young man that runs a boat, his grandfather was born on Fagahatchee. So he's not just telling a story, he's telling his story, his family's story,
I love
which
that.
makes it so much better.
I love that. I feel like when I go to Everglades City, my heart beats a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And I can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So what about some of the most pressing issues, top things that you're working on or keeping you up on at night as a leader of the city?
Well, you know, always the systems, you know, the water and the wastewater treatment plant. But in the environment, we're worried about the mangroves because they seem to be, they can call it what they want, but they're intruding. When they shut the water flow off 85 years ago from the lake because they built the dike up, the mangroves started coming in, and there's a lot of tanning from the mangroves and the leaves falling off. We are losing a lot of our seagrass. So we're working with a man called me the other day about may come down plant some seagrass, but we still need to get at the root problem. Is it the mangroves or not? That's why we want like FGCU to come down and do some studies and stuff, so then we know what we're dealing with because that's our livelihood. We want to take care of it more than any biologist wants to.
Absolutely.
Because it's part of us.
So you guys have some discussions happening with FGCU?
Yeah. We've been talking to them, and they're going to come down and meet with some people and ask them what their biggest issues are. And almost everybody, it's the mangrove. They want to know what's going on with the seagrass. And also, hopefully we can get some answers.
Fantastic. How about in general, if you were to tell somebody what makes Everglades City so special and unique, because it is.
It is.
What would you tell them?
That small town feel. You know, I mean, it really and truly is. Now, back when everything was illegal that people were doing, it wasn't quite as friendly, but it is anymore. I mean, everybody is very welcoming, and we have some great restaurants on the water, some off, you know, but we have several restaurants.
What are some of those restaurants?
Oh, you have Triad Seafood, Camilla Street Grill, City Seafood. Then you go over to Island Cafe. Is right there as well. And there's one on the Circle. I can't remember, Captain Morgan's, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And then you go to Chokoloskee, you have Havana Cafe, which is the next town over. It's not in our city, but still, it's right there.
And you got Everglades Fishing Company?
Yeah, Everglades Fishing Company. Yeah, they're sometimes they do lunch and stuff. You know, it's hard to keep a cook in a smaller place like that.
Sure.
But yeah, and Everglades Fish Company is a unique place. He's a bait and tackle shop, but he's a whole lot more. He does a lot of shipping with boots, and his shirts are neat, you know, and all that. So
absolutely.
And we have a hardware store that sells shirts as well, you know, that kind of stuff. It's
purchase some.
Multifaceted.
You know, I actually, while we're talking about this, what is a gladesman?
Yeah, that's just somebody that grew up in the woods. That's more of a woods thing. I've been more of a water thing, but gladesman is just somebody that's grown up out in the woods and either swamp buggies. You know, and all that access, so much of that access has been taken away, which I think is really sad.
Got it.
You know, and airboats and stuff like that. You know, to ride an airboat private yourself, you have to go all the way down to the Miccosukee and set out there. So it's like an hour drive away.
Wow. So a gladesman is someone who's born and raised in Everglades City. In the
area. Even some people from Miami are gladesmen and stuff because they've been in the woods as much as people from there have been too.
And does in the woods mean like a hunter or okay.
Yeah, hunting, fishing, you know, all that kind of stuff.
I love it.
Just
outdoors.
Absolutely.
So what do you think that if speaking on behalf of the residents of Everglades City in that beautiful small town, what do you think that the residents wish more of the greater population of Collier County would understand or could know?
You know, there's a lot of people in Naples that have never even been to Everglades City. You know, they don't know what they're missing. You know, we try to keep it the quaint fishing village. And NPR, one of them said, you know, about high rises. And I said, you go east, you go west. There's plenty of high rises. We like what we have. We'd like to keep it this way as much as we can. We can't tell people how to build. But as far as Naples goes, we'd like to know the value of Everglades City because we are a magnet.
Yeah.
We draw people to our state
Man.
and to our county.
You also have a pretty significant festival that happens every year as well.
Only about 30 to 40,000 people in 3 days through that little town.
No big deal. That's a great time.
Oh, it's unreal. It's packed.
It's unbelievable. How's the stone crab industry?
We'll see. We get started the 5th. We start hauling traps out. Last year we had a really good end of the season. Production picked up good, which is a good sign. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. Every year's different.
What are some of the things that impact
Sometimes the rain from 4 years ago because the egg-bearing females and stuff and the temperature of the water and stuff has a big lot to do with the stock from 4 years, which becomes a mature crab in 4 years. So,
is there any significance to our stone crabbing industry here in Everglades in comparison to the nation or to the world? Are we a big deal?
Yeah, we have the best tasting stone crabs there is, and that's not a joke because I've tasted them from all over the place. Mm-hmm. But between us and the Keys, it's what they feed on.
Right.
Because we have a lot of different types of bottoms. We have some rock, we have some sand, and some grass and stuff offshore, and we have some of the cleanest water that there is in Collier County because we have, the national park. So we have nobody using, chemicals and stuff all down through there,
Right.
So.
Well, what would be the best way that someone listening today, what would you tell them is a good call to action on when it comes to Everglades City? You would tell them?
People of Everglades City or just anybody else?
Anybody listening today, what would you want them to do to engage?
Just come be a part of it.
Yeah.
You just come down and visit it. And when people come in and realize that we offer something totally different in Collier County.
Yeah.
We're totally not Collier County as far as, like the city and stuff like that goes.
I know you have a fantastic history museum there too.
Oh, they do. They have a great little museum and it's got a lot of the fishing history, but just a lot of history in general. And, a lot of people don't realize, like I said before, that's where Collier County started.
Right.
We had a jail. We had, the courthouse was there. I mean, and the clerk. It was the, capital of the county.
And the Rod and Gun Club too.
Yeah, a lot of history.
So great.
A lot of presidents have been there before. I talked to some fishing guides and stuff, and I won't name president's name, but 2 or 3 of them got pretty drunk, fell overboard, at the dock. But no, there's I don't know how many presidents came, and they would sneak in and sneak out.
Wow.
So
there's a lot. Even I've heard stories that even Willie Nelson has been caught playing in Everglades City.
Oh yeah. He was buddies with some guys that were in Naples and stuff. And
wow. Well, there's so much more that we could talk. Before I close, though, is there anything that we've missed that you would?
No, I like I say, I appreciate this, and I like to be able to share it for whoever's listening out there that needs a second chance. If they've been to jail and they've made a mistake, just turn your life around. There's help out there. There's people that help you through it.
You're the best, and Everglades City is lucky to have you. I think Collier County is lucky to have you. You're fantastic. I think ever since you've taken this role, so much progress has happened. You've got a great team.
I got some good people around me, and I'm telling you, that's the key, because I just sign stuff that they put in front of me pretty much.
Well, and you're also humble. So well, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for all that you do.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
And for those listening today, I hope you find a way to engage because community matters.